Hey, what's up, and welcome back to another episode of Oshi no Ko. This is season 3, episode 3. I'm starting this episode mildly uncomfortable because I have mosquito bites on my fingers. You can see it's a bit red there. I have mosquito bites on my fingers that like I'm just trying to ignore. I mean, it was like the night before last where I got bit by a mosquito on these fingers, and I've just like. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so itchy. So I'm ignoring it. I'm not focusing on it. We're watching Oshi no Ko. Last episode, I didn't have mosquito bites on my fingers, so my head was clearer. Last episode we had, what was it? It was Ruby. I remember this opening scene, Ruby talking to the guy about like how she needs to be a better star and climb up the ranks. But what were the main things that happened in the episode? Let me look at the... we got the OP and ED, which, by the way, the OP and ED is amazing. Oh, right. It was focused on the assistant director, and he had to, like, try to find cosplayers. And so he found Ruby and some other people and told them they were doing Tokyo Blade cosplays, but then his boss was like, actually, I didn't get the rights to that. Whatever. Last minute, change everything. And that was so frustrating, man. That was so annoying. So yeah, anyway, let's continue this episode, see how frustrated I'm gonna get today. Make sure to support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos for both this channel and my Jent Watches One Piece channel. On my Jent Watches One Piece channel, we're catching up with One Piece within the next couple weeks on my YouTube channel, so go check it out. We're already caught up on my Patreon account. Anyway, let's jump into this episode 3 of season 3 of Oshi no Ko. Here we go. I love this OP. Oh, I love this bit. Women's dressing room. Aww. Wow. Minami looks very different. Yeah, there's Mimi. Kinda. She voices a character. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, they suck. This game is a surprise to the assistant director. Oh, that's very sweet. She'll probably make good connections that way by being very understanding. Ruby goes with the flow. Whatever needs to be done to get her goals. Hey, Pion! Aww. Yeah, good. Good. You know it's not his fault. Gonna tell his assistant to turn off the sun. Yeah. It's a bit of a dick. A lot of a dick. Ah, I've jerked off to you. Jesus, man. What do you expect her to respond to that? Why are you saying this shit? Fuck off. God. Yeah. What a... Oh my god. Just such uncomfortable questions. Oh my god. Fuck off. As soon as you find out she does any sort of 18+ content, all she is sex to you. Oh, that expression. Oh, exposing them. Oh my gosh. Oh, yep, here we go. Here comes the internet. But is the AD gonna take flack for this, you know? It's so Jova for TV, I just saw in the comments. That is so good. God. No. Yeah. It's true. Not the AD's fault, but it is true. She shouldn't have to delete her tweet for that. Yeah. Now that all comes out. She would have been fine with it if it was a good experience. That's understandable. I feel really bad for this guy because he's gonna go through a lot of trouble for that. God, if he ends up throwing his AD under the bus. Oh my god. Yeah, it's because they're crazy, that's why. Oh, people do this shit so much, I hate it. Yeah, you can't be as much of a dick anymore. But apparently you can still be a dick. Oh my god. Oh wow, what a performance from that voice actor though. I don't think that's how you have to feed your wife and kid. That's an excuse. I do think he probably works hard. I don't want to like act like, oh, he's a lazy piece of shit. He probably works hard as well, but he's also a piece of shit. Man, he needs to be promoted to CEO for the shit he's putting up with. Oh my god. Yeah. Aww. It's nice that his sister cares about him and is trying to cheer him up. Ruby. Oh, okay. Hey, you made your connections with Ruby, and now they're gonna come through. Oh my gosh, she's there. You digging into. Okay. Yeah, they're just diving into the tweet. It's crazy. It's crazy, but it would get good ratings, at least for this one. Will it destroy your reputation? I don't know. Its energy is so different for this type of story. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's true though. We're seeing Ruby pitching it to her. It's true. But that's not her fault, but still it is true. Aww. This is cute. It also might be very manipulative from Ruby. But it is cute. Yeah, it's mature. The animations. It's like just for a sexual harassment claim to have like fun animations and an upbeat reporter. Yeah, you didn't check until the day before. Yeah, that's right. There was no time. We're gonna see the creator? Ah, Kana! Hey, you get some advertisement for Bikumachi. Glad to see Kana. She's cute. Here we go. Yeah, Abiko. And you have... Yeah, because she loved her performance, so that's great. You use Kana to get to her. She doesn't want her characters looted like that. That's really interesting. Use women to do it so it doesn't look as creepy. Just pointing at the camera. Jesus. Yeah. But in a camera without being warned. Well, don't let them off the hook too much. I don't know if he does. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay, Ruby? What? Throw eggs at him. Oh my god. Is he in cosplay? What was that? Oh my god. Oh my god. That's a pretty good cosplay of Akane's character from Tokyo Blade. I mean... Oh my god. Oh, insane. I bet this is gonna get a lot of ratings. That's kind of what I was thinking. It doesn't look like a half-assed costume though. Yeah, it's too fun. What's she doing? Wow, really? Oh, cool. So he put effort into the costume. Aww. So he did kind of learn about it. Well, Ruby, you did well. Hmm? Oh shit, that shot. All of it. Whoa. Oh, what a cool shot. I like that. That's so creepy. Okay, wow. Great episode. Really, really good. Yeah, I think this episode just had, you know, like, it reminded me of in season 1, the Akane stuff, where it's like we see sort of like, you know, the results of online backlash, which is a major part of the entertainment industry. It's like probably the largest aspect of the entertainment industry in modern times. And yeah, like it, you know, this whole idea of like, we see Maya like going through that, and then she's smiling through it, but then like as she's steaming on it on the ride home, she's like, no, you know what, this is fucked. Like this was really fucked, you know? And I think that feels very true. That feels very real to me, is like the idea of like in the moment you're telling people like it's fine, but like once you think about it more afterwards, you're like, no, actually it's not fine, you know? Like I think we as people have, especially when you're like raised to be a good person, like you're raised to be nice, we have this instinctual response to everything, to like make sure other people around you immediately don't feel bad. And what that means is sometimes if someone is mistreating you in a way that is like more subtly mistreating you, as a response, just going like, it's okay. Yeah, you know, like just, oh no, that's fine. That's what you're doing right now is fine. As long as you're not punching me in the face, like it's all good. Don't worry about it. But then later you're like, actually, that wasn't fine. I was just instinctively at the moment was telling people it was fine. And then you start to like, and so some people like the AD and stuff would be like caught off guard because they were like, on the day you were like so nice and fine about it, and then later we find out that you weren't okay the whole day. But that's just how people work, you know? And so I felt like that felt very real. But I also, I don't know, I like how, you know, that Maya is like, you know, she's a I don't know if you call like not safe for work models, I don't know if they come under the umbrella of sex workers, but like she works, you know, in this, I'm using that as like an umbrella term. She works in the sort of not safe for work industry. And like I've always been a big proponent of like, people need to stop like fucking judging those people so much, you know? Like I really think that in general the world is kind of like insane about sex work in general. Like I think there's so much crazy stigma to me that like I don't understand the stigma, where it's like we as a society, we all know that people have sex or masturbate or do any of that stuff, and yet it's such a topic that is danced around, like we're ignoring that it happens, even though like it happens to basically every person. We still just ignore it. We still just pretend it doesn't exist. And then when it's sort of brought up in our world, like we have to either be dancing around it, like, you know, oh, we can have people be super attractive, or we can have fan servicey things, or we can have, you know, women in bikinis or whatever, but we can't acknowledge why. We can't acknowledge why we have all of that. And also, like, when there's someone whose job it is just to, like, purely to give people pleasure, like, if that's their entire job, for some reason we don't value that, and I don't understand why, really. Like, I'm saying this because I think, you know, we value people who make entertainment. Like, we value people who make TV shows and who make movies and who write novels. You know, we value like hosts, newscasters, like sports people, like famous sports people. You know, like we value that. And, you know, you wouldn't go to, I mean, like I would say 99% of people wouldn't look at LeBron James and be like, oh, that's not a real job. Like, that's not, you're not really doing a real job, you know. You're having, you know, like some people will say it's not a hard job for sure, even though it is, obviously. But some people will try to claim that. But people tend to still think of it as a real job, even though, you know, what he's doing is he's playing a sport for people to watch because people get enjoyment out of watching that sport. I think it's kind of the same thing with sex work. If people get enjoyment out of like looking at pictures of a model or looking at videos or doing any of that, doesn't matter what kind of enjoyment that is. You're still giving people enjoyment, and I think that's a good thing, you know. And so many companies also like very much distance themselves from any sort of pornography or anything like that. Where you even see like credit card companies who are so against like not safe for work stuff that they, if any company is like associated with that stuff, they like try to cut ties with them. It's like, I don't understand it. This is a topic I've thought about a lot. I think it's a really I think we're hundreds of years behind in it. I don't think it's going to be something that's going to change in my lifetime, but I do hope in the future people will look back at those times and be like, wait, people were like uncomfortable with other people being like, you know, in pornography or in, you know, OnlyFans stuff or anything along those lines. Because to me, if I hear that, I'm like, awesome. That's like as much a job as if you told me you were an accountant. Like I think I think I would be excited because I'd have questions. I'd be like, oh really? Can I, like, what are your experiences with it? Because sometimes I get really interested in people's experiences with that stuff. So I think I would be like, oh cool, can you tell me about it? Because I'm interested. But I don't think I'd ever be like, oh okay, ew, what the fuck? You know? And I'm not just talking about women here. I'm talking about like if there were men who told me that as well. Because I want to make it clear, like I'm not just gonna be like, oh yeah, it's fine if women do it because I find women hot. But men, ew, what? You're putting pictures of your dick online, you know? I think it's cool. I think it's great. You know, make money how you need to make money, and you're providing, in my eyes, genuinely, I know it sounds stupid, but you're providing a service. You're providing something to this world. It's got to be around. So many people use it, you know? Like, more people use it than libraries. So yeah, anyway. I like that this episode had Maya in it, and, you know, had her be the center of it and the one in the right, and it never like shamed her for her career, didn't make her like super comfortable, you know, it didn't go like, well, she's an adult worker so she's super comfortable with all sex topics or whatever. Like, if a stranger is asking you that stuff, of course you're gonna be like, what the fuck, excuse me? So yeah, it just like it humanized her a lot in a very good way, I think, and exposed, you know, that unhealthy behavior. So yeah, I also find it interesting, like the and like I feel like this is actually a thing. This feels like an actual thing. But this is something I haven't ever thought about, is when they were talking about, when Abiko was talking about you know, the like getting permissions for fan works that, you know, have big boobs or in sexy outfits or whatever, and same with like lingerie companies. To pitch the idea, they send a woman to do it, and the woman be like, oh yeah, look at this, like, look at this figure. I think it's really empowering and beautiful and awesome. You know, like, you have a woman come and do it, because then, like, if you have like a, you know, 50-year-old man with white hair come and go like, here's my, you know, here's my model, like, look at the huge tits and look at her ass, you can look up her skirt, you know. If you have a man do that, then like you're gonna just look like a fucking creep. But if you have a woman do it, like, just subconsciously, they're gonna more be like, oh, you know what, she's appreciating it for the actual craftsmanship of it, you know, and oh, there are women who like this too, so we're not just like appealing to men, so like, yeah, maybe, you know, I can't turn her down. Like, I can see that working, genuinely. I can see that being a strong tactic to get your more lewd things through. Like, because immediately I was imagining how that meeting would go, and I was like, yeah, I think you raise your chances from like 25% all the way up to like 90% with that one move. So yeah, I found that really great. And then yeah, now we had at the very end, Aqua was just like, Ruby, you set all of that up, huh? And Ruby went, I don't know. Wasn't little old me? No, I'm just a dumb blonde. No, couldn't be me. So yeah, man, that, like, the shot at the end of just like Ruby's like smile, but her eyes are so dead, as Aqua's standing behind her, is so good. It is so well done. Anyway, that's Oshi no Ko, Season 3, Episode 3. Support the video if you can, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and go to my Patreon account for full-length early access and exclusive videos. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.